Up now, Bronco. All right. What's up, everybody? The Ordinary Legends podcast, and we got a good one today. Today's episode is brought to you by Best Life and Company Realty and your realtor.
Right here, number one,
Danny
baby.
Ryan. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, Danny Ryan can help you through the process and find the right place for your next chapter. Reach out to Danny directly to learn more about available homes in your area. Danny, what's the phone number?
586-713-3355.
There you
What's
go.
up?
Danny
Got
Ryan.
you.
What's up, everybody? Back, we got a great episode. I'm going to let Danny do his patented introduction, but what's going on, Dan?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we got a great one. I am pumped. I am literally pumped for this one. And to all the listeners out there, I hope you're having a great day. It's a nice sunny day here in Detroit. We love you. We appreciate you. You know, we call ourselves the Ordinary Legends, and it's about not necessarily ordinary people, but it's about great stories, unique stories, interesting stories. And today, man, do we got a great one today. Today, on our show, we have two people that are funeral home directors and embalmers. I mean, the questions that I have for these two, Joey, I don't even know where to begin.
It was tough sitting with them before. We were having such a good time.
I'm just like a 6-year-old, like just want to know everything. Today on our show, ladies and gentlemen, we have John and Ashley from A.H. Peters. Guys, welcome. Thank you for doing this. I have so many questions. I'm sure people out there have no clue what you do. And so, Joey, I don't know if you want to take over, if you want me to just kind of dive into it. But
before we get into
we'd like to thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
It's my pleasure.
Can't believe you said yes.
Yeah. I'm like, Joe, we really do have a funeral home
this is great.
director.
No,
two of them, not one, but two.
Having somebody in your profession was on our radar from the beginning when we started. You know, it was just fascinating is the word of our podcast. You know, people with fascinating stories,
Interesting
characters.
stories, yeah.
And I mean, what's more fascinating than death? I guess, right? Because like it or not, it's all gonna happen to us all at some point. And I want to know. But before we get started, though, I want to talk about some social media stuff real quick. Briefly, because I know a lot of people catch us through social media, right? Just like anything else, you know, you're looking at all our reels and clips. We're finding that when we look at our stats, we're starting to get stats now. Most of the people who check out our reels and engage with us are not followers. And if there's any way, people always ask, what can I do to help? You know, but with the show, the response has been overwhelming and we appreciate it. That's one small thing that if you are listening, just drop a follow, that kind of thing. And that does help us. And I'm not a like person, you know, on Instagram, but I'm becoming one now that we run social media. Likes help. Any engagement, you know, goes a long way. So we do appreciate that. To all our listeners who are here, you know, to talk with John and Ashley about what it's like to die.
Here we go. So, okay, John and Ashley. When you're a little kid, most people dream of like, hey, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to do this. I want to be a doctor. I guess, John, I'll start with you.
31 years.
3 decades into this.
Yes.
How does someone like this, how did you get involved into this industry?
So like you mentioned, I originally wanted to be a doctor. I was at Wayne State University and I saw a mortuary service. I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And in the meantime, I worked in a hospital as a patient transporter. So I would take bodies that people pass away to the morgue. So I'm like, let's try mortuary science. It seems pretty cool. I had no idea what I was getting into. From day one, I've loved it. Originally, I was going to be like, if I don't like it, I'll just switch majors. But
Sure.
Day one, I loved it.
How about you, Ashley? How'd you end up like, because you're younger, you're 5 years into this now or?
About 4, yes.
About 4.
So, yeah.
How did you get involved with this? What made you decide to go in this route?
So I wanted to be actually an automotive mechanic prior to going into any
Opposite
sort
end
of
of the spectrum.
literally
No
opposite
kidding.
end. And you know, in high school at the time, I graduated from high school in 2018. When I was in 7th grade, we had to do career aptitude tests. And at that time, my number one score was mortician. But I think I was like 11 years old or maybe 12. My teachers didn't necessarily know how to explain that to me as a kid.
Yeah, how do you do that?
What kind of questions do they ask you?
Right.
What's your favorite color? Black. Yeah.
Right.
You like being around dead people? Yeah, okay.
Right.
That's cool.
And so I always wanted to be an automotive mechanic. And then I think I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, and I thought I needed to like have my life figured out by that point. And so I decided to, I had a welder tell me, "Hey, you're not gonna want to work in a shop in the summer," and I was like, "Oh, you're right." And so, like every high school girl who just watches Grey's Anatomy for the first time, I wanted to be a surgeon, but realized like, ooh, I don't want to go through med school. That's a lot. And I had a cousin at the time who was in mortuary school. They never ended up graduating. However, they said, "Hey, why don't you look into this career?" And I said, "That is so weird, but why not?" And then my senior year of high school, I did a job shadow at a local funeral home. And pretty much from there, I set my career path to become a funeral director. And I haven't looked back since.
Back to John here real quick. So you said you were carting around bodies. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that the first time you were around a dead person?
Other than like going to funeral homes as a kid.
So what's that like? You're just like, no big deal, or like, cause me personally, if somebody goes, yeah, just take that dead person and move them over there, I'm like, I'm not going.
Well, I grew up hunting and fishing, and so that was just part of growing up. So it's never bothered me.
Really?
Never ever.
And then you say, when you're just like, I'll just do a job shadow at a funeral home. I mean, you're in high school at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I don't think I could ever
I'm scared of
doing.
spiders. And
Yeah.
you're like doing that, you know?
Yeah. No.
Were there multiple kids that did that, or just you, or how does that work?
It was kind of a joke in my high school that every 10 years there was someone who wanted to become a funeral director. And so by that point, when I said, "Oh, I have an interest in mortuary science," I was the 10-year person.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
essentially the next decade. And, from there on, like I didn't see my first dead body until, we had someone in my grade that passed away from suicide, and it sucked. And, I remember going to his funeral and not really like interacting much like at the casket, and just kind of not really understanding, I guess, like what a traditional funeral looked like until, then I did my job shadow, and really I didn't see my first dead body until mortuary school, until I'm in first day of practicum. I show up to the funeral home that I'm doing.
Practicum is the...
It's basically like if clinicals for,
Like for a nurse, yeah.
nurses.
Okay.
But more. This is for funeral service.
Gotcha,
And
okay.
so I remember my preceptor. He took me down to the basement where the two apprentices were getting someone ready for a simple cremation. So simple cremation is services, just doing cremation without services. And I remember like looking at that person's foot, and I'm like, holy crow, like that's a person. And for me, a little bit was jarring, and I'd say probably it took me about 3 months to like be completely comfortable being around someone who was deceased.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's amazing, because I mean, right off that bat, and I know that I see a dead bird on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Freaking out, let alone a dead body. I mean, it took you a while. Like, talk about that. Like, how does that work? I mean, you're becoming a mortician, so to speak, or you're a funeral director / embalmer. You're going to be around them a lot. You know that. So.
What does your family think of this? Like, is your family supportive? Like, yeah, go do this. Or like, what is it? Are you crazy? Like, what?
I've been doing it for so long.
Right.
In fact, we have strange hours. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when we have family functions, I'm like, just schedule it. If I can make it, I'll be there. If I can't, I can't.
Yeah.
But when you were younger, getting into this career, did you feel like if my sister's like, Danny, I'm going to be a funeral director. I'm like, did we screw? Like, did mom and dad screw? Like, what's going on?
I didn't decide till when I was.
Do you
at
feel like you were
Wayne State.
supported as? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Ashley? Do you
Oh,
feel like-
absolutely.
Yeah.
My papa and my dad are like my mom are my number one cheerleaders. And so basically,
cool.
anything that I wanted to do in life, like they were 100% behind. And so it was really cool, like having all of that support with my family. And, they would ask those questions of like, hey, like, what does a normal day look like for you? Or like, what's embalming like? And being able to like, at the same time study essentially by explaining to them like the process, like, my family was super, super supportive about everything. So, which is shocking considering like,
Oh my God.
it isn't a normal career path,
No,
especially when
that's
you
why we
don't have family
That's why
in
we
it.
got you here, because it's not normal, and what you
Yeah.
do is, I guess, not ordinary, but like,
Yeah, it's definitely not ordinary.
Oh.
But it's obviously a respectable job. And
it's
somebody
commendable.
has to do it, right?
100%.
And then thank God for people like you. You know what I mean? Because without, then where I guess I don't know, we'd be burning bodies.
Mine was kind of like the opposite. Like my mother withheld affection. That's a joke. Hope she's not watching.
Poor mom.
Oh, John, you're awesome, John. All right, well, I'm more fascinated by like your first day on the job type thing. So you see, like, talk me through that. Like, there has to be some, like you said, learning curves are just being around dead people, right?
So, like the first day when you go in, you have a boss to work for.
Sure.
They tell you what to do. And I'm Ashley's boss, so I tell her what to do. She usually doesn't listen. Usually doesn't listen. No, Ashley's awesome.
Yeah.
The families love her.
Yeah.
But my first day was so long ago, I don't remember too much about it.
I honestly kind of remember my first day of practicum, I think more than really like my first embalming, I would say more than anything. Like first day of practicum, you know, my preceptor was one thing about funeral service is it's very stereotypical for like the funeral director to be like a cranky old man.
Sure.
And I had.
Did you just look at me?
No, I didn't. I promise.
I was worried about it because we didn't meet before. I'm like, God, is this going to be?
Yeah.
It turns out it was the opposite.
Precisely.
The
And-
nicest person on planet Earth. Yeah.
And so, you know, for me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, my preceptor, at the time, he had very dry cut humor. So at that time, I wasn't used to it yet. And I remember him taking me down to like adjacent to the prep room, introduced me to the two apprentices who were getting someone ready for a direct cremation, and then just left me. And I was like, oh my gosh,
God.
like I've never been around a dead body before. Like this is interesting.
And you're by yourself.
Precisely. And so I think like especially in school, because in school, not always are you able to follow a family from the embalming to the arrangement to the funeral. And at that time, for me, it was easier to disconnect myself from maybe who that person was, especially in the prep room. Because for me, I just know this is a man or a woman, and I'm getting them essentially ready for their funeral. And for at least for like a solid like 6 months, like I used to think of them almost like as like a prop for a movie, in the sense of it didn't feel real going through the embalming process. And obviously now, you know, I meet with families, and you know, I might be meeting with the daughter of the decedent that I'm currently embalming. And at that time, yeah, I can kind of associate who this person actually is. But I would say during like the schooling process, it was really hard to, I don't want to say humanize, but almost think of that person as a real person, because you're only seeing a glimpse of who exactly that person is. You know, I might be doing the embalming one day, and then I won't see them for an entire week. And by that point, they've already had their funeral, they've either had their burial or cremation. And for me, it was just, okay, that was a person to embalm.
So like, John, when someone dies and the family's like, here you go. Like, what's the first thing? What's the process? Do you just
what's
like
the process?
Yeah. What happens?
So when we get that initial notification from the family,
First call.
or called first call, first of all, we offer their condolences to them. That's very paramount. We go through, it's called detached empathy, where we feel bad for them, but we don't take on the physiological grief that they go through. So we try and build a bond with them. We want them to trust us, because that's our whole business is based on trust.
Absolutely.
We're here to help people, and that's what we do. So we try and initially, when we first speak with them, we try and build that trust. We want them to know we're there for them. We're going to help them get through this. We're going to do our best for them. And that's, so your question was, how do you initially, And then we talk to them about, you know, is your loved one going to be buried, cremated? And then we talk about some details, and then we let them know what things they will need. We try and set an appointment time with them to come in and talk about details, but we let them know what they need. Like they'll need the social security number.
things that like most people just don't even
wouldn't
think about. You're not even
because
thinking
we
about
obtain death certificates for people. And so death certificates are used for any tangible asset that may require going from somebody to somebody else. So there's a lot of information on the death certificate.
Does the embalming happen right away?
It depends. We need to get permission from the family. If we get verbal permission, we do it right away.
Right away.
Yeah. And
that's important, I'm assuming.
Time is probably really
there's
important.
a benefit of embalming
I
right
would
away.
say, you know, a lot of the times if we are speaking with a family and we kind of know like, hey, this family is going to be pushing services out at least 2 to 3 weeks, we as embalmers know that our solution strength needs to be a little bit stronger so that person does last.
Yeah, I was going to
for a
say,
little
like,
bit
there's
longer.
got to be a time frame here, right? Like, from what's the time
You
frame?
know, I think that it, like, kind of what John was talking about just a little bit ago was more so of like our follow-up call from an arrangement, or follow-up first call essentially. So, you know, we call the first call someone notifying us of that passing. And then kind of from there, dependent on when that death took place, we're going to reach it back out to the family to introduce ourselves as the funeral director who's going to be arranging and kind of with them through that entire process. a lot of the times I like to tell families that I'm the brain for them, essentially. I'm going to remember the nitty gritty, when their service information is, what.
Because they're not thinking.
Exactly.
Their
For
mind's
them.
It's the worst day of their life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
and so for them, I want them to focus on grieving their loved one. I'm going to remember when the obituary deadline is. I'm going to remember when, we need to get,
You guys should be getting paid $1 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like
You guys need to be
you're
getting
more of like. There's two sides of this. There's
Yeah.
the actual science side of embalming somebody.
Precisely.
But that's what I've learned just talking to them. Is there's a whole nother side of like how you treat other humans when you're going through the worst day of your life.
Worst
And,
day of
like,
life.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you're
and
not
funeral
thinking
directors
clearly,
are
you're just-
smooth like that. You have to be smooth. Like you know what I mean. Like
That's
You have to be a
it's-
people
do
person.
you
to
learn
be in this
that?
field.
Not to cut you off, and I
Yeah,
want you
it's okay.
to continue on
Yeah.
on this story, but like, do you learn that, or is that just come on the job?
me personally. It comes with experience. The longer you do it,
There's not like a course you take in college,
No.
or like from when you
Yeah.
get hired at AH Peters,
Right.
you give a course. I mean, because some people just don't have the bedside manner, and I can't imagine like
and
somebody
we've
being
worked
a
with
good embalmer.
We've worked with
but-
people like in the past. They do not last usually.
Yeah, no.
So you
Not
have to
profession.
be both. You have to be an embalmer that does a good job, and
Yeah.
then on the other side, you have
Thanks
to
for
be.
the compliment.
I mean, you are like
My
you
wife will
have
say
to
different,
be.
but-
Yeah, I mean, any successful funeral home, like, and like honestly, I mean, unfortunately, like we were talking, I've been to your funeral home too many times,
Yeah.
and
Which it stinks, but like you
but
guys do
there's-
a great job.
But
It's
we
just,
understand
don't
why
wanna be
you're
there.
open and what
Yeah.
you do, what you do, because you do such a good job.
Do
But-
do limbs move? Like when you embalm
my
people, do they
God.
move?
No. So
Okay, so
I
that's
think,
If they move, I'll be the first one running out of the room, pushing the little kids out
I
of the
just
way.
picture like an arm moving like ever so slightly or
you
something.
hear like a twitch or so. Oh my
oh,
god!
I'd be like the road runner.
yeah.
So I think like the most common misconception, especially like, going into funeral service, I used to always hear like, oh my God, bodies sit up on their own.
Yes.
Absolutely
I
not.
think I saw a TikTok video
Yeah.
of a body
Like the
like doing
Undertaker,
like
the
this.
wrestler?
Try,
Yeah.
try doing a push-up with nobody holding your legs.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Pretty much.
Physiologically.
Especially with men. You carry your weight all in your chest, right? Now, when rigor mortis takes place, that's 0 to 72 hours after a person passes away. A lot of the times we're getting that person maybe within the first 24 hours, maybe within that first 72. They would have to be able to, essentially every single muscle in their body would need to be able to contract on that top half of their body and essentially raise them up. So it's essentially like, think of like if you were to lay down and then lift yourself up, every single body, like muscle that's currently working has to be able to work to be able to do that. So really at that point, like it's not happening.
So you've never seen a body like just move or twitch
Never.
or something?
I gave up doing sit-ups a long time ago. So when I die, it's not going to happen.
Now a death rattle is different.
What is that?
What the hell is that? Sorry, but what is that?
So a death rattle is essentially when a lot of the times it's closer to maybe someone who is still living and they are on maybe the last legs of life and they're passing away. It's basically kind of the air that is escaping their lungs but tickles their vocal cords still
Oh, so it's like a.
It's usually when you move them.
when you move them. I remember the very
You hear breath?
Did you remember the first time? That
Oh yeah.
happened?
You hear like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Maybe. I remember the first time it happened to me. I think I was at our other location, and we had just put someone in their casket, and
Oh my.
they had kind
Come
of like they had
on.
exhaled, and I looked at my coworker
No.
Emily, and I was like, "Did you just hear that?" And I like was starting to walk out of the prep room.
What is it
trying
called?
to
A
walk.
death rattle?
Death rattle.
I mean,
I'm running.
I'm not walking by yourself. That and you did not know that was coming, or that wasn't like somebody. Hey,
So like
heads
we
up on
learn
the
about
death
it in
rattle.
school, but like when you first hear it,
Yeah.
it's so much different. It's so
It's
much
just like an exhale.
my
yeah,
God,
basically an
I'd be
exhale
shitting
on
my
like
pants.
a living person, like how
Kind of like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, with a little bit more
Kinda
rest.
like
It's terrible.
It doesn't happen hardly ever, but when
Yeah,
you hear
when
it,
it
When you
does,
hear
that's
it,
why-
you know you heard it.
I don't mean to
That's how
laugh, but
it's part of being the job though. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
death rattle, dude. I don't want anything to do with it.
sounds like a heavy metal band.
yeah, it sounds like
Death
death
rattle.
rattle.
Death
Dibs.
rattle. That's
Dibs on a heavy
good
metal
idea.
band name.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We should trademark that,
There
John.
you go. All right, you heard it first from me.
Yeah, right here. I would say this. What do you think is like the biggest misconception about like?
You were just saying that.
Is that one other one, or do you have any others like big time misconceptions about like what you guys do?
I have a huge one. We talked about it earlier. Is people think when somebody's cremated, the funeral home does a cremation. In the state of Michigan, it has to be done by a crematory. So we don't actually do the cremation. We facilitated getting the person cremated. We'll take them there. We'll bring the ashes back. It's just a state law. Other states.
I mean, people
right.
actually think they take like their
Like
loved
it's in
one
like
and it
in
goes
the,
at age.
like in the funeral home, they think that's going to happen.
Yes.
Oh, all
at
the time. All
That's
the
kind
time.
of stupid. I wouldn't think that.
I think I don't know.
I would know that. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
I guess.
What do you think they're? You see a chimney at age Peters on 8 Mile? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You were
So
talking.
my wife, we grew up in the area, and our preparation room's up on the second floor. And she would drive anytime growing up. If the lights were on at night,
She knew.
She's like, "Oh, somebody's being cremated right now." That's not the case. So there's so many misconceptions about that. But
Another one too, and maybe not a misconception, but we were talking before the show. Talk about how in the state of Michigan you are a dual license.
Dual license.
Yeah, what is that?
Talk about that versus other states.
So, at least in the state of Michigan, one of the requirements to become a licensed funeral director is holding a bachelor's degree, as well as going through either a 6-month apprenticeship or a 1-year apprenticeship. And Michigan's a dual license state. And so dual license essentially means I am both a funeral director as well as embalmer. So if you were to go to Ohio, for example, Ohio has those licenses separate. So if I wanted to just be an embalmer, I could go down to Ohio. I don't know if I would have to redo my apprenticeship or just take
the state
boards. So I would just take their state boards for embalming, and I would just be an embalmer in Ohio, not
Right.
necessarily funeral director.
That's interesting. Like to be a funeral director is one thing. I thought they would be separate. I thought maybe we were talking to a funeral director and an embalmer.
Someone that knows nothing about embalming. Is it just like you just put like? Is it like just like you just?
Yeah, talk about the
I feel
actual
like you- like-
process.
So there's a small
how does it
incision.
work?
So the traditional embalming style, there's a small incision made in the neckline,
Okay.
and you have your carotid artery and a jugular vein.
So you drain the blood, right? Out of
So
the-
we
Correct.
inject formaldehyde into the carotid artery, goes throughout the whole body, and the formaldehyde, the solutions we put in, will preserve the tissue. Conversely, as you push that fluid in, blood will drain out of the jugular vein. We actually put forceps, long forceps about this long, into the jugular vein, and they expand and contract in case somebody has blood clots. Blood clots will interfere with the formaldehyde getting to certain parts of your body.
Really?
So, for instance, if there's a clot in your arm, you may not get blood to your fingertips. Or formaldehyde, I'm sorry, preserve it to
So
your
your
fingertips.
hands look distorted or messed
Right.
up.
But conversely, you flip the arm over, there's an artery right here. You could stop this portion and inject fluid right into that
So
artery.
is it?
That's what
common-
I was thinking.
So it's common to do like multiple like.
Not too often. If a body's been down for a while,
Okay.
then sometimes that's the case.
Is it a long process to do that?
It depends on your experience level.
Yeah.
How long does it take you?
on a standard
On a
loved
standard
one.
case, everyone's different. I was a 4-hour embalmer up until recently, and for a standard case, typically it's about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Since I am newer in the career, I do kind of take my time a little bit more. I don't want to, mess up someone's mom or dad. Ultimately at the end of the day,
Is makeup another thing that you
Yes.
guys do too?
Correct.
You guys do.
You guys do it too?
Yep.
And the one thing I told Ashley about that, don't worry about time, how long it takes. The main goal is to make them look good.
Do you have a
Only one
picture?
chance.
Do you have like a picture of what they look?
We
that you-
try to.
We
Yeah.
try to.
They give them like you guys get a picture.
We try to,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
At least for like
God.
cosmetics wise,
Yeah.
maybe not always at embalming are we going to have that loved one's
Yeah.
picture because we might not have met with that family yet. It's more so at that point, like, okay, if it's a gentleman, we're going to ask, are they clean shaven? Do they have facial hair? How would their facial hair
Let's tell my
normally
wife to make me look like Brad Pitt. Like, you guys got your 4 hours. You got 24 hours.
I think
With
we already
me.
talked. You're going to be a closed cast. There's nothing we
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah, we're screwed. I'm
you're
screwed.
close
Sorry, guys.
casket.
Yeah.
You're fine, though. You're all right.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
John, what the hell?
I think most other people say differently, but yeah, I mean, God. So family comes in, you talk to them, you're Mr. Smooth. Then you go in, the body comes in at some point. You pick up the body, like the funeral home picks up the
Yeah.
body most of the time, or
I personally went this morning and picked up a body from a hospital.
okay.
Then
So
Ashley embalmed.
Is it mostly hospitals or is it morgues?
Hospital, nursing home,
Morgue,
medical examiners,
yeah.
and
or houses?
houses,
Unfortunately, yeah.
which I hate.
Yeah.
going in the house.
The house has got to be the toughest
Worse.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you normally? I mean, I would assume you'd have to have two people.
people.
Yeah,
On a
because I
house
mean, you're
call.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens when somebody's like huge, like big person, fat, whatever? I mean,
we just call in
Like,
a little bit extra
John's got
staff.
those
Extra help.
biceps, dude. If
Yeah,
you
I
look
know.
at John's
You're doing all
biceps,
those
you kidding me?
sit-ups.
God, you made me rip my coat.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
call
but
in additional
Have,
staff.
have you ever had an instance where it's like, oh boy,
We had a 700-pound gentleman pass away at home, and we had 6 of us there.
that's 100 and what? I'm not a math guy, but that's
The issue with that is if you get enough people, that's
110
fine.
pounds each.
We have a device that goes
15.
underneath the person, and it's made of plastic, and there's straps. So if you get enough people, you can lift
You're
the
fine.
person.
Yeah.
Were
The
they
problem is going through
weren't
doorways.
Yeah, doorways and turning
Mm-hmm.
and oh yeah. Yeah, you don't even the things you don't think about. I think
Especially on the east side when all of the houses like they're built with that like step up or they have like that
immediate-
like that pony door like right when you walk or the pony wall whatever it's called like right when you walk in and you can't like make like an immediate left-hand turn. There are like we'll have to like say okay is there a side door is there a
You're
sliding
going on more house calls.
I don't get to go on house calls anymore.
She's like, I got to get that overtime for that.
I like going on house calls. It's just I'm too short a lot of the times to be able to get the stretcher all the way up to its fully extended.
you guys really do it all. Huh? You go to house calls.
I mean,
you
think
greet
about
the
that, what they're
family.
doing.
You embalm, and then
Direct
I'm
the
sure
funeral?
Direct the
Direct the
funeral.
Direct the funeral
Yeah.
on top of
I had a
that.
question. Oh, did you ever like? And maybe you can or cannot answer this, and don't feel bad if you don't.
John, blink twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like drop a body, or was there a mistake? Or okay, please. if you-
It's happened.
Yeah.
I'm
things
sure you
happen.
don't do it on purpose, obviously. So
No,
yeah.
no. When I first started out, I was with a gentleman. We did a house call, and like Ashley said, it's one of these doorways where you have to put the bottom of the stretcher down and the other end up. So I'm pushing as hard as I can to lift the stretcher up, and the guy's trying to throw the bottom through the doorway, and the person kind of
Oh, God.
So rigor mortis hadn't set, so they were kind of loose. So he kind of like slipped down.
Oh, he kinda
'cause we didn't have
fell.
the and he was like sitting at the bottom.
Yeah.
Thank God the family wasn't there.
Yeah.
But things happen. It's
Yeah, it's
nobody's
probably coming.
perfect.
Has it ever happened where a family was there?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
What about like, has there
God.
ever been like I mean, you guys have been doing this 40 years, 30 years. Is there any like funny stories that you could like feel comfortable sharing or unexpected stories that you feel like you're comfortable sharing that a situation might have happened or that you could just like laugh about that's
We told you some
not-
earlier that we can't put on the podcast.
Yeah.
There's one circumstance where I was directing a funeral, and the family wanted Somewhere Over the Rainbow played as
my
the priest
favorite
walked
story ever?
in. Right. So I have it all queued up. It's a stormy day. The
I
lights are
think you
flickering.
need to preface this with like this was in like the early 2000s and we were still using CD players for
Yes.
our
Okay.
music
Yes,
and not
okay. There's no-
iPods,
yeah, no
no
iPhone.
I rely on the
Spotify.
youth to
Yep,
help
no
me.
Thank you.
Spotify.
No
Okay.
Spotify.
I think
no
I know where the
nothing.
story's
Yeah.
going.
I
There we
had
go.
the CD queued up. It
Yep.
was like number 5.
no.
Right?
Okay.
So storm goes on and off, lights flicker on and off, whatever. As soon as we're ready to go, the priest starts to walk down the aisle. I press the CD. Ding dong, the witch is dead. True story. True story.
That's my
And then I started
That's the
freaking.
wicked
Wait, who
witch.
put that on there? I really
That was
Well, it's
number
part of
1
the
on the
story.
CD.
Oh my
The Wizard of Oz is
gosh.
probably on a
Ding
track.
dong, the
Yeah.
witch is
Number-
dead.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my-
family thought
John,
it was
what'd you
hilarious. I freaked out.
Did you stop it?
Yeah.
Like,
I
fumbling,
kept trying,
like-
no, and I couldn't get it to stop. The priest, who's a good friend of mine, he was beat red. He didn't know what to do either.
God, that's
But
good.
yeah, I got it. I turned it off. The family was laughing. They thought it was their
That's
mother,
cool.
coming
Oh
down
my
from above.
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my family.
That
would
is a
laugh
great
too. It was
story.
like, on my side,
What'd you say?
I said my family would like crack up, like they'd love it. Yeah,
I mean, oh my
Yeah.
God,
That's a good one.
hilarious.
A true story.
You,
you-
do you got any ones or no?
You bopped your
Unexpected.
hand when we were talking about dropping a dead body. I don't know. Do you have a story there?
Or
I feel
just
like you
anything
had something
that,
there.
that you feel comfortable sharing. If not,
listen,
we'll move
no
on.
pressure. I
I will
get it.
talk about the dropping one only because that's more embarrassing to me than anything. But so growing up, on my mom's side of the family, we're Ashkenazi Jew, and when I think this would have been my second or third day of practicum, I was at a funeral home and I was only made aware of the decedent's personal, not preferences, personal like opinions about people right before I was about to go dress him. Yeah, he was a Nazi.
What?
wow.
So
Tattoos everywhere. And all that?
everywhere
Yeah.
on this poor guy. And like, maybe like later in life, he might not have thought that way.
Yeah,
And that's
sure, of
that's
course.
fine. But
Yeah, of course.
here I am like my mom's grandparents were fleeing from like Germany and all of this, and I'm just like, damn, this guy would hate me if he would
Yeah.
know I was getting him
Yeah.
You
dressed.
draw a smiley face on him.
No,
Not that you would, but
yeah,
you know, I know.
I hope you cremated him.
No, I think it was a burial, honestly. I can't even remember. It was so long ago at
Gosh,
this point.
that's crazy.
But it was very just like jarring knowing that this person who is, deceased, passed away, he'd probably hate me, knowing
you.
that I
Yeah.
was I was the one
Absolutely,
getting him
yeah.
dressed.
Yeah.
And, that kind of messed with me for a little bit. And then I said, you know what? I'm the one who's dressing him ultimately at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's not the other way around. And that,
How do you dress a dead person? Is it tough?
I have 3 children. It's easier to dress a body than a child. It's much easier.
Really? Yeah. Have you
Because after the embalming process, they kind of firm up. So you just put on the pants like you put on the pants.
Oh.
You put a sleeve on first, and you kind of roll them and tuck the shirt behind them.
But I feel like their arms would be stiff.
Stiff.
We try and have them in this position. Sometimes, if it doesn't work, we may have to cut the clothes in the back
Yeah.
and then stitch them up. Loose stitch.
Gotcha. Have you guys ever had? I'm just curious. Have you guys ever had a strange request, like a family have like a unique request, something you're just like, okay, we'll do it. We'll or not. Is it always kind of?
So
I feel like every now and then you might get.
and I'll speak for Ashley.
Yeah.
When we make those arrangements, we try and get to know the person who passed
Yeah.
away. We talk about their life. How can we celebrate their life? I had a gentleman pass away about a month ago, and he was an amateur DJ. So I'm like, why don't you bring his DJ equipment in?
Oh, that's
And
cool.
she was like, it would be cool if we can get an actual DJ. So we did.
Oh, really?
During
Yeah.
visitation, we had a DJ going.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, true story.
That's
kinda
that's
cool.
Yeah.
That's
About a
awesome.
month ago.
Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say I had a family that the decedent really liked the Rolling Stones, and so as the family was processing up to the cemetery, I just had "Paint It Black" by the Rolling Stones playing as they came up, and it's just really like those little things.
Little things.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The
The things
if
you
a
remember for
song,
sure, that means a lot.
if the funeral home staff is wearing, say the decedent liked MSU or U of M, if we're wearing U of M or MSU shirts, it's really just like those little things that families appreciate.
You guys make everything sound so like
Easy peasy. But
easy,
it's like
like repeat.
the hardest day in someone's life.
I know.
You're literally
Yeah.
directing this whole funeral. You have to speak socially in front of huge crowds, which is probably not the easiest thing in the world.
Exactly.
You're trying to like make the emotion of the worst day of their life to like just not that you're gonna change it, but maybe just a niche to and like little things like
Yeah.
that with the music.
Well,
What's the straight? What is there? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I can speak for Ashley, we want every funeral we do to be better than the previous one. We want everything to be perfect. We want the family to remember us, not personally, but
Yeah.
remember, they're not going to remember us as people, but remember how they felt.
Yeah.
That's we were going to ask kind of that towards the end, but that's a good way to look at it. Kind of along the same lines, you have these nice requests like the Rolling Stones and the DJ thing.
That's sweet you did
Is there
that. That's
anything
cool.
that's just been like, what? Like this family requested this for real, and we kind of have to provide that? I mean, there's got to be something where it's like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah,
But
she's
I get
cracking
it,
up.
but
Oh, shit.
Maybe it's a funny thing. Maybe it's not a funny thing. It's just weird.
Cool. I think it's really cool. So I had this family very early on in my career when I started with Peters where the decedent was a biker. And I thought, that's really cool. That's awesome. And
Biker like motorcycle.
motorcycle,
right?
right,
Gotcha.
right. And so I had the family ask me, hey, he had a hip replacement. Like, what happens to that? And I said, like medical waste typically. And they go, well, can we have it back?
What?
And I said, oh, well, I'm going to have to ask the crematory. You might need to sign a form, but I'll find out. They wanted to turn it into a shifter for a motorcycle. Shifting gear for a
What?
motorcycle.
His
I don't-
hip?
Yes.
It's actually kind of cool, but
I
it's
thought it was
wild.
so cool. Like when they first said it, they were so scared to ask
The biker's name was Hippie.
Yeah.
there's-
Hippie.
You got Hippie's hip.
His name was Death Rattle.
Yeah, Death Rattle.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that's a good name too, right?
I can't wait for Death Rattle to come out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, they were so scared to ask, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like,
That is sweet.
absolutely, I will get that hip replacement so you can turn it into a shifting gear for a motorcycle. Yeah.
So did they end up getting it? Do you know?
Yeah, no, I got them the hip replacement. I don't know if they ever turned it into a
Sure.
shifting gear, but I know they have it.
It's on somebody's mantle.
So
That's
sweet.
Hippie's hip.
Joey, would you ever spend the night in a funeral home? Like, honest
No.
question. How much would if I was like, Joey, I'll give you 10 grand. No, that's too much.
Okay,
I'm
like-
gonna go $1,000
No,
for
higher,
one night.
Higher.
You wouldn't do it for $1,000?
No.
Dude, I lived at a funeral home.
I know, but hold on. Let's be specific. Just like in any area where am I? Like, am I in the embalming room? Am I next to the refrigerator or whatever?
Dude, I'd be scared in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out. So that's why I thought.
What do you think your number would be to spend the night in a funeral home? Like 24 hours in a funeral home.
5 figures.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I would do
10,000.
I don't even know if I could do it for $5,000.
If you guys were there at night, I swear to God, we'd lock the doors and shut off all the lights.
Oh,
Just to see your reactions.
Yeah, you would be embalming me the next day. You'd close casket my ass the next day. You're like, oh, poor him.
Oh God,
yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would be by the door, just like sitting
You
there.
can sleep there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You probably guys sleep there peacefully.
do you ever get? I mean, you guys are.
What about
I'm
hearing a
assu-
noise?
Our 2 funeral homes, we have people who actually spend the night at the funeral homes because we're one of the few and only funeral homes that will answer phones with one of our staff members.
That's awesome.
24/7.
That's
Other
great.
funeral homes get an answering service.
Sure.
Say my loved one died. Let me get a director. They got to wait 10 minutes. But we have people trained to answer phones that live at the funeral home.
And they come in at all hours of the day. I'm
They come
assuming.
in at 10 o'clock and leave when I get there at 7:30 in the morning.
How? I don't know what I would do.
And the phone
if I
calls
heard
come
one
in at all
creak,
times.
All times.
what the? I'd be like, what is that? What is
Oh
that?
yeah, dude. I wouldn't. I'd be by the door, just like.
I don't know if I could even do it for $5,000 for 24 hours. I really don't.
I'm saying 5 figures.
I told you I'm scared of
I'll do
spiders. Yeah, John. If anyone needs to spend the night at a funeral home, John, he's
your
right
guy.
here. H. Peters, he's got you. $5,000, please.
Oh man.
That's crazy. That's insane.
And does it drag on you? I mean, at some point to be a part of something like you said, the worst day of somebody's life all the time. I mean, like being a part of death.
Yeah, that's a great
Does
question.
that
Joe. How
drag
do you-
on you?
that's a
Like at
good
any
question.
point, do you ever just? Be
How do
like,
you do that?
I need a vacation, an extended vacation kind of thing.
No, me personally, everybody dies, right? And it's sad, and we help them through it. When a child dies, that's a game changer.
That's a different
total game
story.
changer. That will, you go home and cry.
I don't know how you could even handle a child.
We
I
have
really
to be the
don't.
professionals
Yeah.
and help the family through it, regardless of how it makes us feel.
Oh, I can't imagine that. I don't even.
I mean, we have
I've gotta
kids.
wipe
We have
this out
2
of
young
my
kids.
brain,
Like
yeah.
I don't even know how
Yeah.
you deal with that. Like that. And that's why you guys should be getting paid $1 million. Honest to God.
Why don't you tell
wish.
our boss that?
Yeah.
Please.
I will. I'll write a letter. Like Ashley and John and any other funeral director out there.
But
they
if
deserve.
they do that, every
a lot.
funeral will be about $40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Caskets go up by like 2. Yeah. Oh my God. That
You can get
that's
a
tough.
casket at Costco, right?
You can.
They do.
Yeah, they do a good job over there. Yeah.
They
From
got-
what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing with that,
I'm just kidding. I know.
no, they do.
I
And people will
get it.
send them to us. We cannot schedule visitation or funeral till we know we're going to have that
Yeah.
casket.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes
Also,
them 48
sometimes
hours.
you gotta wait.
Yeah.
Really.
So that's the logistic
Yeah, that's
issue.
true. Another thing you don't think about. you
Yeah.
know? Costco better get on that.
What I think funeral homes should be doing is get a liquor license.
Oh God.
I think there's a game changer in a liquor license for funeral homes.
And there's a funeral home in Florida that does that, right?
You get a liquor
Is it
license.
Dignity? I don't know.
They do. I know there's
Oh.
one.
Oh, then cool. Yeah.
We do not. We cannot.
I mean,
However, if a family wants to bring in alcohol,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
we just
for
can't
sure.
pour it.
We cannot.
Has
touch
that ever
it.
happened where they get out of line?
No.
Not a
I mean, everyone's
line.
probably respectful, you know.
I don't know, man.
People would
Really?
tailgate like in the winter,
Sure.
and I'm like, just bring it in. Just be respectful.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's hard
cleans
to
up
do,
after
though.
themselves.
Yeah.
People- I don't know. Some of my friends, I don't know if they
Yeah, no kidding.
tailgating. You mentioned tailgating at a funeral. It might be more people there than you want.
It's just so weird because I was telling both of you guys earlier, like what my wife does, and she deals with cancer patients, and like, you know, I'm at work, I have a bad day, it's like a missed phone call, it's a whatever the case may be. You guys, a bad day is like what John just mentioned earlier. It's like, is like, do you see? You guys got to see life different than how an average person sees it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy, like I complain about and bitch about the dumbest stuff, and my wife will put me in perspective. Hey, I have a 22-year-old just got diagnosed with cancer. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, but like she'll do
Yeah.
that. You guys are probably on the same wavelength of like, you got to be able to see life so different. Like, how do you feel like it's like what you do, both of you? Do you feel? I don't know.
Like, does it change the way you view life?
Yeah,
with
like
your
do you feel like it
relationships with
changes you a
people?
little bit, like and how you see things, or are you just so desensitized to like this is just my job, this is what I do every day, and here we are. Like, how do you? All right, we're back. So
All right, hey, before we do that, shout out to Stevie's Relish. We got a little sponsor today.
Scrubby,
Stevie's Relish.
Scrubby!
Steve Skrubsky, our last guest. He makes us a relish he was talking about, and here it is. I don't know
Homemade.
if the cameras can see it. Bringing the heat with both sweet and hot homemade relish, perfect for burgers, hot dogs, sausages, and just about anything off the grill. To order, call 313-318-3840 or email Stevie's Relish. That's STEVIES RELISH. It's a mouthful at gmail.com. Stevie's Relish. I mean, I brought a fork. We can try it. I mean, if you want, but we'll do that later.
Okay.
But Stevie's Relish, thanks to Scrubby. And wow, he was a great guest. And speaking of Scrubby, Stevie and the D. Do you know anything about Stevie? We're going to touch upon this brief. We're not going to get into it.
Sure.
But did you know about this before that?
No.
Okay. We're going to get into that. Stevie and the D. Cliff Notes version is he was a lineman for DTE all these years, and all the messed up stuff he saw throughout the city. He would take these funny videos. He got kicked off of Facebook. This whole thing I learned, but we're gonna get something together. We've talking with Scrubsky, and we'll be putting it on our social media. So keep a lookout for Throwback Thursdays. I think we're gonna do with Stevie and the D and show some of these crazy funny videos. You wouldn't believe if I described them, you wouldn't believe them, but really funny. And thank you to Stevie for your sponsorship.
Scrubby, we love you, baby.
We love you. Stevie's Relish. That's Stevie's Relish at gmail.com. So we just took a bathroom break.
A little quick potty break. We're back.
We're back.
We were talking about, how, like, what were we talking about? Like how this. Yeah. What
After hearing the stories we heard off the air, I don't
She
know.
says I have dementia, so ask her not.
What I have for breakfast
God.
today? No, what we were talking about was
change the view on life and relationships.
Yes. So like, you know, what you guys do day in and day. I have a bad day. What you guys have a bad day. It's the worst day of someone's life. Has it like changed your life of how you view
People,
your life in general? Like, I feel like you two have to have a different outlook on life. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe you're desensitized to it. Like, do you feel like how you view your life in general is different? Like, do you see things differently than like your average person that's just, I don't know, like, because you're around death 24/7. How has that changed the way you view life?
I would say I always was like, when I would talk to family members or like very close friends, I always ended a phone call with "I love you." Now that more than ever, every phone call I end with my mom, my dad, whoever it is,
Really?
I always make sure to say "I love you," because too many times, and even in my own family where, you know, someone had passed away and maybe the last words that someone spoke to that loved one was an ill will or wasn't great. And now they have like, especially like when arrangements come the funeral, the only thing they're thinking about is that last conversation they had with their loved one.
Yeah.
And it might not
point.
be great. You know, it might be an argument. It might be, you know, them saying something they wish they didn't say, or wish they didn't have said before. And that's the last thing they said to their loved one.
God, that's such
I think about
great
that
thing.
a lot now. With
You know,
every-
I was so fortunate with I called my grandma my graham cracker. The last
Aw.
conversation I had with my graham cracker, I said, "I love
Yeah.
you." And to this day, I look back when she passed away, I'm like, hey, at least I said like my last words.
Yeah.
What about you, John? Do you feel like you view it a little differently with what you do? And
I try and appreciate every day because you never know when it's going to be your last day.
yeah.
You never know. We'd be gone on the way home today. But so it kind of drives my wife nuts. I'm like, let's go do something.
Yeah.
So,
Like use
Yeah.
like if you're saving like a face mask for a special day, like use the face mask, the body wash, the candle that you're
pull out
saving.
the china, the crystal.
Yeah.
Why are we saving this liquor? Like,
Right.
The wine.
Right.
Like what are you
whatever.
waiting
Yeah, I
for
get that.
ultimately?
Yeah, and I'm like that. I do that. I have a
I
good
do too.
bottle of wine,
Yeah.
a good bottle of whiskey. I'm like, what
Michelle's
am I doing?
like that, and she taught me, my wife.
90. Yeah, we're all
Like
like
I used to be one of those people.
It's in a
Savor
box,
this.
all
Savor
bubble
that.
wrap
But
on
you know,
it.
it's like, you know why? Like, exactly.
Precisely.
You know? What do you want your funeral to be like?
Oh,
I personally want to party.
yeah.
I want everybody to celebrate, videos, fun stuff, all positive comments.
Well, what if they're no.
John,
John, that's up to us, buddy.
how could that happen?
That will
Yeah.
happen, I guess. No, I just want to be a positive experience for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So, are you going to have it at a funeral home?
Yeah, funeral home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to church. I don't know. Depends
Yeah.
when I pass away.
It's funny because I'm going through my will right now and like a trust and all this. And I mean, you want to talk about something that rattles you to your core and you start talking about, you know, like the death of you before, you know, or your children,
Who does this,
everything
who does
else,
that?
all the things you don't even think about, like we've talked about today. And it's just like one of those things, yeah, where it's like, I don't want to have a funeral. I mean, besides going to H. Peter's Funeral Home, 8 and Mac, everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
But,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
shout out.
I think I just want to party like you do.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go to church. I just want.
We could do it at the funeral home. That's we had the DJ at the
You
funeral
got
home.
the DJ, got the church. Yeah.
We sometimes will have champagne toasts at the end of the day
That's awesome.
before people
Yeah.
leave. We only have one chance to do it, and we want to make sure it's perfect.
Absolutely.
Same with you. You feel like
I don't know. Like
Such a morbid
I mean,
question.
I've always kind of been the one like I've always wanted to donate my body to science, but ultimately you never know what you're going to be used for in that regard. So for me, it kind of the same thing. Like I want it to be a celebration. I want it to be like, you know, remembering what I did in life as opposed to like, oh, she's dead. That's sad. Like I want people to be talking about like my accomplishments, you know, what I did, the impact I had on people.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
ultimately.
People
sure.
are going to cry, but if we get laughter,
Yeah.
talking about the person's life, sharing stories, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean,
what do you you're around death every day. In your opinion, like John, I'll go to you and then Ashley, I'll go to you. Like, what do you think happens when we die? We're around it 24/7. Like, what is your picture of like what happens when we die?
Spiritually or physically?
Both.
Well, we kind of
We did physical. We'll go spiritually. We'll
But
go
It
spiritually.
depends
yeah.
on your faith.
Yeah.
So if you believe in heaven, you go to heaven.
Yeah.
Unless you're a bad person.
Yeah.
And you go to hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's whatever the person who passes away, what their beliefs are, may or may not be what happens to them.
Yeah.
To answer that, that's why they call it faith, because we don't really
Everyone
know
has it, yeah.
after somebody passes away.
You feel the same too?
Kind of the same. Yeah, honestly. To me, it's like, you know, I kind of think of it in like a surgery sense of like, oh, you know, when you are going, like getting put under for surgery, you don't know when you fall asleep and when you wake up. So I kind of assume it to be kind of the same thing with death.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, but you never know, ultimately.
I'd
what
like
John
to think
said.
we go to heaven and all that, but sometimes I just think it's like the Tony Soprano thing where it just goes black.
Black.
You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
just done,
that'd
and
be
that's it.
That'd be
Yeah.
the worst though.
I know
That's
it really
not what
would be
you
the worst.
want.
I know it's not what we want, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I think we're in a simulation. Sometimes I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well,
I
can you
just
give me
think,
some more money up there?
like,
Who's ever
some
played
things
my
in life are so
Right?
unreal that we
Yeah.
experience here that
Please.
like. Yeah, and in a good way too.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? In a
100%.
great way, not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just like
I kind of told my wife when we die, if I see her in heaven, I'm going to ignore her. So death to us part. I fulfilled my obligation at that point.
oh, like,
Yeah.
can you imagine that? Just
You're
be
like this,
you
you're
know
like,
her?
oh,
No,
you're like-
afraid of Felcher.
Yeah. You're wearing the big nose with the glasses or whatever. Yeah.
So maybe some rapid fire questions here. We've already went through that one. Is there anything what's the funniest thing that happened? Is there anything funny, like a funny story or something where like somebody did something or something where you're just like, oh my God, you know, where family was laughing too, or
It's like I mentioned with Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead.
yeah, that's
Oh, that's
actually
a great one.
Actually,
Oh
that
my
is. I don't know
God.
how you can top that
My
one.
brother was a pallbearer for my stepmother's funeral, and I knew he had his cell phone on. So, and I wasn't a
called him?
pallbearer. I called him.
You did?
Right when they lifted, so he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I forgot his ringtone. Yeah.
Oh,
Would your
what a
mother-in-law-
Oh, everybody's
or
laughing, and he
stepmother
couldn't do anything. He told him the casket.
Oh my gosh! Did everybody appreciate that?
Yeah,
or-
everybody laughed.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That is good.
So from now on, he has his phone on silence.
What about family drama? Like,
all the time.
Ooh, that's a good one.
yeah, like
Do people like they have to?
Oh, yeah.
And did you have to like mediate that? Kinda?
I would say it kind of depends on what the situation is. It's not necessarily my place to get involved in that drama, so I kind of will hope to God that I have to type up the death certificate or make a phone call to the church so they can handle that while I'm out of the room. I would say a lot of the times families kind of already know they have a dynamic and will try not to expose that dynamic necessarily during arrangements. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, or one half of the family will be making arrangements and they'll talk, you know, like, oh, you know, my sister's going to come in tomorrow and drop off clothing and, you know, get ready for her. But ultimately, you know, we're not in that family. We don't necessarily know what that dynamic is. So, you know, we have to be neutral because,
Yeah.
you know, the person that might come in and make arrangements might say one thing and then you find out later down the line, like, oh my gosh, like that person was stealing from mom this whole time. And, you know, at that point, like, that's not my business.
Right, you don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say like really care,
Well, right,
you know,
I
but
guess
it's
it's
kind
the
of like,
wrongest word.
you know, not my monkey, not my circus.
But they'll want us to get in the middle and
Yeah.
and pick one side.
Has
We do
there
not
ever
do
been
that.
like a confrontation at the funeral, like fight or anything, or like? Now, sometimes you hear like gunshots like ring out, and so I'm certain funerals and stuff like
I've
that.
had to call the police a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Have you really?
Several, never fist to fist, but
Gotten
close.
there, where the
Yeah.
point where the police had it.
There'll be people say if this person comes, they're not allowed to be here.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and
wow.
you're supposed to be the one to facilitate. Hey,
They want us
Yes.
to, and I
You should
I
be
always
getting
say,
$2 million a year now.
If I'm not physically here and don't see them coming in, there's nothing I could do.
And even then,
Wow.
at that point, you just say you can't come in. They're like, damn right, it's my mom or my sister or my
Right.
cousin or
I said, if
whoever.
you see them come to me, I'll ask them to leave politely.
And then
if they
not,
don't,
call the
I will
cops.
call,
Yeah.
tell them if you don't leave, we'll call the police. Because ultimately, we are responsible for the person that signs the contract with us.
Precisely.
Yeah,
That's
that's
our job.
true.
Yeah, that makes sense. For
So
sure.
if you have dysfunctional sister comes in, you're like, you're the one paying the funeral home, signing the contract, doing everything with us.
Yeah.
We're responsible for you, not your sister.
We've talked about the strange request you gotten from with the hippie's hip. What's the strangest item somebody wanted to be buried with? Like, can you say that, or is that something too personal to
I
somebody?
cremated someone with a joint once, and that was kind of cool. But like, I'd say like the most common thing is
like a
like,
marijuana joint.
oh yeah, absolutely. I think the most common thing is like, people wanting to be buried with like their pets, their cremated pets, I should say.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, all the
a
time.
cremated pet
yeah.
with them?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that's awesome though, because like I'm a crazy
Okay.
cat lady myself, and right now I have 3 cats and a dog, and obviously I'm only 25, so like I'm gonna have more cats later on in my life,
Sure.
and I want every single cat with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that, is
There was
that-
what, you remember? You ever see the? I'm a big fan of this Curb Your Enthusiasm.
yeah.
There's a scene where what's his name had his 3-wood. Larry David
Yeah.
took Larry David's 3-wood and he had it buried. So in the casket, Larry David's friend had Larry's 3-wood.
Yeah.
Larry went to go pay his respects and he found out that my 3-wood is in this guy's casket.
So
He's
inside
trying
of,
to yank it out.
Yeah.
inside of each casket, there's a little bed, right? And we could raise or lower the bed.
Okay.
I had a family who, guy was a big golfer, put a golf ball in. All right. So somehow the golf ball dropped beneath that bed.
Oh no.
So when we were carrying the person up the stairs,
No.
Yeah,
church, we gotta go do this. Bam.
Oh god. I
Family
know
loved
that.
it. I mean,
I love that. That's awesome.
Oh,
Is there a busy season?
Yes.
there is. Oh,
Really?
can I guess?
Go ahead.
It's got to be like. So for me, I feel like I'm going to funerals between. I'm going to say November through February.
yeah.
Close to it.
absolutely.
That's it.
Why
It's
do you
busy
know-
season.
is that
Because
for
every
real?
time I go to a funeral, it's always right. I feel like it's just past Thanksgiving.
Thank God we're out of season right
We're out
now.
of season.
That's good.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You look great, by the way.
yeah, we're
know.
starting to come in a slow season.
You look great. You ever see him? He's a good guy. He's a good looking guy.
Did you ever see our handshake?
Yeah. Is he good?
That's
Yeah, he's
great.
okay.
Good.
okay.
He's driving me home tonight, so we're good.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything you had to say like no to? Like
Ooh.
somewhere you're like, no, we can't do that.
All the
Sorry.
time, it's very difficult, but we do have to say
Yeah.
no. Had a family, and this has been done. We do not do this. They wanted us to cut off his tattoos.
What?
So they
I
could
was
frame
just
them.
reading about something about that again, actually.
There's a company that does it. I don't think it's in Michigan.
I think
Our
it's-
company does not do that. That's we
Yeah.
consider
They
that.
want
is
their
our
tattoos removed, but aren't they already covered up when they're?
They
like,
want us to
like-
cut them off
Yeah.
and like make artwork out of them.
There is like preservation. I don't. I literally was just reading about I shit you not. Like maybe like right before we got here, I was reading about another. It's a preservation tattoo company where I want to say they have to send a specialist out to like take the tattoo off because like what your tattoos go into the dermis of your skin. I want to say.
So what happens when the tattoo gets removed? Like, what are they doing with this?
Wish I could tell you. Wish I could
I
tell
I was
just-
gonna
you.
say you're making
month ago.
artwork. Is it like in a frame? Like they're
Yeah, like
I
what do
would
they do
think
with
so.
that?
But to me, that's considering
It-
dismembering.
yeah,
a
it's
human
mutilation.
body.
and we
course,
can't.
yeah.
We
And
can't do
that's-
that.
We don't do that.
Oh, I don't
We
blame you
follow
one
the law
bit.
to 100%.
Yeah.
messed up. Yeah.
Like it's cool, but like just take a picture of my tattoo.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
we're joking around a lot, but is there anything ever that you've seen? Maybe you're just like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. I mean,
Well, the
Doing
kid
your
thing
own
is the
family.
worst.
besides a child. I mean, but like
Child
dismember-
suicide's even worse.
Child
than
suicide and then
dismemberments, things like
Child
that. like-
suicide. Kids do that. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
I'd say doing your own family, honestly. Like my younger brother passed away about 2 years ago, and there was only a 5-year age gap, but my younger brother was autistic, and in my family, we're with his autism, he was always going to need assistance, and my entire life, I had built my life around my younger brother. like my fiance knew about that and like, totally okay. And then, my younger brother ends up passing away at 19, and it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? I just set up my future. I had like a separate bank account for him. I had all of these things for my brother. And, his funeral, it was at Grosse Pointe, the funeral home I work at. And so, like that week after his funeral, I'm coming in every single day. I'm doing funerals every single day in the chapel that my brother was in. I'm doing visitations every single day.
You're human.
Yeah.
And you got to keep a straight face and help these other people. Like,
precisely.
There's a grieving process.
Oh, absolutely. And I think like being on our side of things almost makes it worse in the sense of, my brother was autopsied. I know what an autopsy looks like. I know my parents, bless their hearts, they don't deal with that every day. My dad's a truck driver. My mom worked retail. The most they come with death was within their own family and what they hear from me. And so having to protect my parents from some of that nitty gritty and not being able to say, oh my God, like.
Well, you're grieving yourself.
Yeah, precisely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so
thing,
I would say
right?
that's probably, would say one of the hardest things to have to deal with is when it's your own family and being the director for your own family.
should we do a little?
Sorry to make that depressing.
I'm a little lighter
But
than
like
that.
honestly though, what you guys do, like I feel like everyone just takes for granted and they
Yeah.
don't understand the reverse side of like, and that's why I wanted you guys here to like just understand like
Think
your
about
point
they're
of view.
picking
Like,
up the deceased.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the family. You're embalming them, making them look good. Then you're executing.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but like the actual process and
Yeah.
the funeral itself, and then I'm sure there's a lot more and a lot before and after that we're even missing.
well, imagine like the worst day of someone's
I
life,
know.
That's
and
when our
you're
day
there
starts.
every single time someone's there. That's you guys.
Yeah.
And your goal is to take away your personal matters, whatever is going on in your life,
Absolutely.
and like be there for that family.
Every time.
Every time.
We only have one chance to do it.
Man.
Because every family is going to remember the funeral director that messed up their funeral. But they're not
That's
going
true.
to, they're going to remember that, like, and that's going to stick in the back of their mind. And for me, that's kind of like the thing that reminds me, you need to be on your game every single day you show up, because the last thing that I want is for a family 20 years from now to remember, like, damn, that funeral director girl, like, she sucked. And that's all they can remember from the mom's funeral.
Now that you say that, I had an experience with bad. Yeah. My grandfather, it just the way the procession went, there was a lot of, it was rushed. I felt rushed. It wasn't as professional as A.H. Peters. Let me just say that.
Thank you.
And it does stick with me to this day. There were certain things that happened. I mean, I don't need to get it. It's nothing crazy, you know what I mean? It was just like the way the funeral procession was, how the body was taken from
There's so
point
many
A to
little
point
things
B.
they do. We don't.
The funeral home itself, it was just very, and I was a kid. It wasn't my, I mean, I was actually a grown kid, but like, yeah, it definitely sticks with you to remember those ones before you remember. Yeah.
Precisely.
We talk every morning about every family, every detail. Because
Every
like Ashley
detail
said, we
remembered.
can't afford to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
They do.
You
but
drop bodies,
that's-
you know,
And it sucks. And you
no big
like
deal.
think about it. Like I can think of one family that like I'll be honest, like I wasn't on my game for, and it was a handful of months ago. And I think about that family every single day I walk into work.
We'll beat ourselves up if we make a mistake.
Absolutely, and
Every
like
time.
I still think about that
Like,
family
think about
every
like we
single
make a
day.
mistake at our job.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
t-shirts,
it's-
right?
It's whatever.
Speaking of t-shirts, that's a nice sweatshirt you got
Thank you.
there.
Well,
We're gonna get you.
we gotta get you guys
one.
something for the H. Peters.
We know where you work.
yeah,
but,
I don't want to show up, but
I'd
like,
like to give you an official A.H. Peters funeral. You cannot buy those in stores.
let's go.
Look at that.
H.
nice
Peters.
Camera can
Shout
see.
You
out
guys have to
H.
share it. It's
Peters.
the only one I have.
Beautiful pen,
That's
man.
pretty cool.
Even has a stylist on the other end of it.
I know what's going on. I mean,
Only the finest.
only the finest at A.H. Peters. Sweatshirts, t-shirts. If you want them, you know where to get them. We don't have a website yet, but Marky's going to handle that. He said he's going to take care of it. But if you want one of these sweatshirts, t-shirts, we've getting a lot of requests. DM us, Facebook,
Actually, you look good in one of these.
Instagram, email
I'll take
us
one.
at
Hell yeah.
is it The Ordinary Legends?
The Ordinary Legends.
The Ordinary Legends at gmail.com. We'll set you up either way. Hopefully you like them.
No, Ordinary Legends.
It's
I don't even know
What is it?
anymore.
Let's figure this out.
There's not a
This
V
is
on the
bad.
front
Here,
of
hold
your
on. We can figure this out quickly here.
While he's figuring that out,
Sorry.
we got to get you guys a couple of sweatshirts. though. We
Appreciate it.
really
Thank you.
do. Yeah,
I
for
mean,
Absolutely.
wear them in the embalming room, wherever you guys
The
or
embalming
what you guys are
I
staying
will
the night.
sweat way too much during that. I'm sorry.
Do you wear suits in the embalming room, or
Oh,
can you just wear
absolutely
like?
not.
It's the ordinary
Scrubs.
Yeah,
legends.
that's what I thought. They were near legends. Like
The ordinary legends at gmail.com.
We got-
The
Should have brought like
ordinary.
a full set of PPE.
personal protective equipment.
what is that?
So that is when we embalm. The funeral home's required to provide everything we need to be protected for ourselves. So we could be covered like an astronaut from feet to head, completely covered.
You know,
with
like
protective
in
equipment.
ET when they're like going after ET.
Yeah.
And like
Yes.
that's
it.
what you got. You guys
We
are
can.
that guy.
We have the
Yes.
equipment for it.
Wow.
I take off my suit coat, put on a little apron, roll up my sleeves, and I'm.
Do you
put on
listen to
some gloves.
music while you guys?
Absolutely.
She does.
Absolutely.
And
What's your
I-
music?
Yeah.
It depends on
Oh,
the
happy day.
depends on the mood I'm in.
9 Inch Nails.
Yeah. What's our metal?
Death
rock-
rattle.
Death
Yeah,
Rattle.
Death
Do you listen to Death Rattle?
Little death rattle.
I listen to probably like a lot of alternative hardcore. My brother-in-law's band I listened to a handful of times.
Give him a shout out.
Our last night, hell yeah.
Our last night.
Our
Let's
last
go.
night.
He probably knows his email.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Our last
don't
night
even know
at
it.
gmail.com.
But no, absolutely. Like I'm in the prep room. I have music. I'm always like, I think, how many times have you walked in on me and just like
What the
singing?
hell are you listening to?
yeah, just
Yeah.
like singing.
I'm the old guy, so.
Yeah, every single body.
Turn that down.
Pretty
Yeah.
much every single body I embalm has heard me sing. Because ultimately it's like 2.5 hours. Like
It's a job.
exactly. Like, but also like I talk like maybe say like, oh, like especially if it's like if I'm embalming the person that I've already met with their family, I might say like, oh, like your family is cool. Like I just got done meeting with your family. They're so nice. But
Yeah.
it might be just more be like a for me thing to, I guess, humanize someone more. But ultimately, yeah, if it's I'm either listening to music or I'm listening to an audiobook, one or the other.
If I'm taking somebody to the cemetery or crematory without the family, I will ask what type of music
Yep.
did he or she listen
Oh,
to.
yeah.
And I'll play it.
And they'll always, I guarantee they have.
What if it's
they have
terrible
something.
music? Do you just
I
lie to
still-
him?
You got to
so,
suffer
yeah.
through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You suffer
gotta
through it.
I'd lie to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it for you. No
No,
problem.
we play whatever they want. So.
All right,
if you-
Joey, what do you got in your?
If you want a T-shirt, go to the DM us, Facebook us, email. But we got to read our sponsor, dude. I was gonna have you read it. Blue,
What?
the blue. Read it.
Yes, sir. Quack, 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 Mr. Duxworth. Here's a tighter life. No, here we go. Ready? Quick shout out to Evan's Party Store, your go-to spot for drinks, snacks, and all your party essentials. You got to check it out. Whether you're hosting or getting ready for the weekend, they've got everything you need in one stop, and that's for show. They got the best. Make sure you mention promo code 67 when you stop in Evan's Party Store.
6-7.
Support local and tell them the Ordinary Legend sent you. Sup, Evan? We love you, bub.
I needed a spindrift the other day. Evan's Party Store had them
Evan's
iced
Party Store.
and cold. They were great. All right, what we have in your hand right there is our segment called The Ordinary Debates.
Explain how this goes, Joe.
In that envelope is a question from our producer, Marky, and it's a fun question.
We have no idea.
We have no idea what's in that.
We
It
all
could be
gotta
anything
answer it.
From sports to leisure to directing.
God
funerals.
knows what.
So, without further ado, open it up. Let's see
Butterfinger.
what we got.
I was trying to be a cool flip and catch
Yeah,
it.
I love
It's
it.
okay.
Didn't happen.
Water bottle flip's about like 10 years old now.
Just call me an old man.
What do we
I
got
will.
here, Marky? What do we got here?
Nothing.
Take a look. Let us know what we got.
He doesn't have his readers on. He
I
can't
can
read
read
it.
this.
He normally goes big.
Would you rather be buried or cremated?
Ooh.
That's easy. Cremated.
Why?
I saw one of my best friends. He passed away when probably closer to 15 years ago, give or take a couple years. And me and all of his boys, we went to the burial site, and I had never done that before. And we watched them take the backhoe or whatever
Yeah.
and put the dirt on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was so much water in that dirt. It had like rained. It was in April, and everything. And I just remember, I mean, there was a lot going through my mind at that moment. That was probably one of the worst days of my life. But I just remember I will never be buried. And not that burning my body is any better, and watching that probably would freak me out. But I just remember being like, it's final. Like and not that it's not final, it's just a mental thing. And it was so final. And since that day, I just remember being like,
Wow.
do what you want with me except for bury me. I don't need somebody to come visit me at the cemetery. I don't need that. Don't pay the money. Just burn me, spread my ashes at Ford Field after, and then be done with it. So
Can't do that.
Yeah.
You need permission from the Lions.
well, somebody
Get
can,
underneath.
You can
that.
do a secret.
Underneath
we
that.
might know
So I had
somebody.
a family, and this is years and years. Actually, with my family, I heard about a family, Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yep.
All right, Dad wanted to be spread at the 50-yard line.
That's awesome.
The Eagles said no. So guess
did
during halftime, the guy ran in and started scattering them.
Holy shit.
He got
what
arrested.
Yeah.
In the interview I heard, he was like, "That's what my dad wanted. So I don't care if I get arrested."
Worth it.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
Or you
Worth
go
it.
on a tour
I'm
of the
not
stadium and
recommending
you're just
that.
like,
Peter
oh,
Serum will
yeah.
not do that.
Yeah. What would you do?
I just want to be cremated.
Really?
My church has a little columbarium with niches. Maybe go in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about you?
I think ultimately, like I said, I want to be donated to science, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up being cremated. I'm going to be probably cremated, but I want something cool done with my ashes afterwards. So, not to like subtly slide in some of the cool things we do, but like we have. Oh yeah, so mine's not an ashes necklace, but like one of like the ones that we do is like fingerprint jewelry. So but would want to be made into something, and there's like a couple different companies we work with. Like the main one that we work with is Memory Glass, and they have different artisans that will blow, like they'll mix your ashes in with, I don't exactly know the entire process, but they'll turn it into like a glass
piece
art,
or
yeah,
something?
glass
Yeah.
art piece, like
Oh,
a
that's
paperweight.
really
You can put like a
cool.
light underneath it, and it makes
It's
like a
very
pretty
cool.
cool rose. And I want something cool done with my ashes, so something like that.
This just brought me a weird story. When I was a kid, my cousin, he was an eclectic guy. I mean, he was a character himself. He'd be on the Ordinary Legends podcast. Anyway, he went to like I don't know, a estate sale or something, and there was some ashes, like a brick of ashes, and he bought them. And he had these set of ashes sitting on his counter. It was like a brick almost. And it turns out this guy was like a former pro baseball player way back in the day, like from the 30s or something. And this guy's ashes were, I forget the guy's name or whatever, but it was like the running joke that guy's ashes were just randomly sitting in my cousin's like buffet table,
Yeah.
like in the dining room.
Yeah.
But
How much do you pay for them?
I have no idea. This is
$9.99.
This is probably 30.
Are you out of your mind?
Did they haggle the price?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give you $10. You right thing. Yeah, exactly.
Probably a cool earn. You never know.
It's fun. I got a good story too. My uncle passed away like 15 years ago, and we had his ashes. And my mom was like, "Hey, is my mom's brother?" She's like, "We gotta sprinkle them out on Lake St. Clair."
Oh, yeah, this is a great story.
I go, "Mom, that is a great idea. I have a boat. Let's do it." So last year, it's me, my mom, my dad, my wife, like my sister, my brother-in-law, no kids. What a special moment. I got music playing. We go out in Lake St. Clair. The sun is setting. And like, this is my mom's request. It was my grandma and her son, my uncle. So we had their ashes. All my mom's request was to sprinkle my grandma's ashes and my uncle's ashes on Lake St. Clair.
How windy was
And
it?
it was
that day?
beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, windy. It was a little windy. And we go into the back of the boat. We cut open the bag. We say like our goodbyes. And I had like some music playing in the background, and like I'm choking up. I'm not a guy that really choking up. My poor mother, she goes like this, and they go whoop, and they go right back into the boat.
I've seen that. Been there.
Like I say, my mom went, yeah, mom, they're in my throat.
Is it just like everywhere?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
my
Yeah,
God.
that's why Ashley
Everywhere.
asked if it was
We
windy.
got like a quarter of the ashes into the water.
Yeah.
The 3/4 were in the boat.
So like at what point you just like take a broom and sweep them out or
So we
something?
tried again. With Bruce, my uncle was the first, and then we go to my grandma.
Oh no.
Okay, we got to get a little closer to the water. The wind picks up, goes above the boat, pops it back in. So
They were playing a joke.
yeah, I'll be buried. I'll go. I want to be
You're
buried.
going
I want
buried?
someone to go find me, say goodbye, whatever.
yeah.
So, is there anything that you guys want before we sign off? Is there any other stories? Anything you want to
a
mention
message that you want
about
to
a
say?
message? Anything that you guys want to like share before we sign off that you think might be important to share with people with what you do, or should we just sign
Me
off?
personally, I just want to say that we're here for anybody that needs us, regardless of their financial situation, we will help them. We have one chance to do this, and we're here for the community.
Awesome.
John, Ashley, A.H. Peters, these guys are the best. They'll take care of you, your
Best
family.
in the business. Yeah. Just promo code DEATH.
Yeah.
And no, I'm just kidding. You guys are really professional, and we really appreciate you coming on. Honestly, like we didn't know what to expect. This is something like I said, we had targeted on our radar right when we first started this podcast, and we thought it would be really fascinating. It exceeded my expectations. You guys were way cooler than I thought you would be.
Yeah, you guys are cool. I'm like,
when we first rolled up, like, oh gosh, here we go. Like,
are we great?
Are we okay? Are we gonna be there tight? And you guys absolutely were. And
Thank you.
somebody I would want taking care of my loved one who, in that moment of time.
100%.
And I hope, and I just hope the best success for all you guys, and and appreciate what you guys do.
As you as well. I really appreciate being here. So thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ordinary Legends. Keep checking us out. YouTube channels, all that fun stuff.
You
We
want
love
a hoodie,
guys.
t-shirt? Call me.